Hey, this is Brad. Just a quick little disclaimer about the Manitowoc Ice Machine video. The video was taken in multiple sections at multiple stores, and after editing it all together, realized that there's a couple of minor things missing. We will shoot the additional footage that needs to be done. There's nothing major missing, just might be a little bit more detailed on disassembly of some of the stuff, and also one of the main things is the fact that I did not wear protective gloves or safety glasses during the process. I would instruct that your people do that while they're cleaning the machines. Also, the other thing that wasn't really clear is if your guys are scheduling to clean your ABS, which right now so far we're able to clean the rest of the machines. It's just scheduling the cleaning of the ABS has been difficult. So basically you want to shut down the machine the night before and dig all the ice out and clean the ice bins and everything before you start the cleaning process. And that pretty much goes through for all the machines. Before you clean them, you should empty the bins and melt the ice out that you can't get scooped out, because chemicals can splash down into the ice. So that's about it. We will update this video as soon as possible, but it should be educational for everyone who needs to look at it. Thank you. Alright, so today we're going to learn how to clean the Manitowoc Ice Machine. This ice machine and the one above the ABSs are old style, which means they don't have a digital controller either down in the corner or up on the top. Those are slightly different, but the instructions on this video will pertain to the old style Manitowoc Ice Machine and the one on the ABS. So first thing you want to do is shut the machine off with this switch. It says ice off clean. So it would be on, you flick it to the middle and it's off. That's where you want to leave it for right now. Read these instructions. They're on the inside of every cover. It tells you exactly what to do and how much solution you need to put in. So basically what it's telling you is you're going to pour ice machine cleaner into this trough right here. And I will show you the easiest way to do that is grab this and take it off by grabbing it on the top and bending it together, taking those tabs out. So you pour your ice machine cleaner into this, put the curtain back on, and then you flick this to clean. The Manitowoc machines have their own cleaning cycle. It will automatically stop and wait for you to go on to the next step. It will have you run ice machine cleaner through and also sanitizer, and then we'll have you rinse it. Again, just follow these instructions closely, and next we will show you how to take apart this area in order to clean it. And in order to access the areas that you need to clean, you grab this called the door, grab this door by the top, and you bend it in, and these tabs come out of these holes right here. So this you would take to the sink and wash off with your ice machine cleaner. This part right here is the thickness sensor. Very important. All of the units that we have, the Manitowoc units, these older units, if they do not have a digital display, they will have an ice sensor like this. It's important that this all gets cleaned. You scrape it off with a razor knife, spray it with some ice machine cleaner, and you can also use a little wire brush or one of the green scratch pads to clean that off. So once you get that cleaned off, you can just let it hang right there. And the other parts that you need to take off are secured. This is a distribution tube that actually takes the water and runs it down in front of this. This is called the cuber, where all the ice cubes are made. the water comes out of holes in this and drips down. And you'll see there's a difference between this one and the other style. This one, you just have to unscrew these 4 screws. And don't drop the screws in the ice. Okay, so once you have all the 4 screws out, grab it out of either side and pull this towards you. It comes out in 2 pieces. There's still another piece here that you have to get out. You kind of have to work it back and forth to get it out. So sometimes it's a little tough to get out. We had to kind of crank on this one pretty good, but it did come out. Now, these 3 O-rings are key. If those O-rings are damaged or missing, the machine will actually leak backwards and you'll see it dripping out of the sides or onto the floor. So we take these back to the sink with our curtain, and then we use the ice machine cleaner and green scrubbies to clean all this off. Once you clean it off, you sanitize it with sanitized water in the sinks and back, and then we're ready to reassemble it. Alright, so this is what the tube looks like from the ABS. You saw in that picture that there was a tube coming to this side of it, and this is the clamp that was holding that tube on. So obviously this is pretty dirty and needs to be cleaned. This also comes apart, and how you do that, if you look at this tab right here, when you get to them, they'll be turned all the way to that spot, which is where they need to be. When they're pretty dirty, they're hard to turn. But in order to get them apart, you need to rotate that tab to that slot. Otherwise, it will not come out. When you get it to this spot, pull on it, and if it's really hard to pull and get apart, just take a flat blade screwdriver and just kind of pry it a little bit all the way around. So pulls out, and you can see it's pretty nasty on the inside. And see these holes here, it's important that when you put this back in, that you rotate it all the way to that slot so that the holes are lined up with these holes where it needs to come out. There's another one of these on the other side. It comes out exactly the same way. Alright, so once you have it apart, you want to take some ice machine cleaner. You can use a little spray bottle or just use the jug that you have, or like half and half, pour it in a Cambro or something else to dilute it. But we have a spray bottle, it makes it more convenient because we clean a lot of ice machines. So just spray that real good. And you might want to wear plastic gloves or rubber gloves. I've done that so much it doesn't really bother me, but I guess for safety purposes you should probably wear safety glasses and wear rubber gloves. Alright, so as you can see, sometimes you can't get everything off, but you can scrape that as best you can, maybe with a razor knife or whatever, or let it soak a little bit longer. But to reassemble this now, you want to take these pieces and take some Taylor lube from your shake machine, just put a little bit on your finger and rub it on these O-rings. This will help you reassemble it easier, and it'll come apart a lot easier next time. So all you do is take this, you gotta line that tab up with that slot and push it in. Once you get it pushed in, you just turn it. See how much easier it is to turn now than it was before. Just turn it till it hits that stop and you're good. And you do the same thing with the other side. Alright, so as you can see, we have the distribution tube back in. All 4 screws are back in. We're going to take our ice thickness sensor. I didn't point out before when I took this out, these tabs squeeze in and they fit in the holes right on top of this distribution tube. You just squeeze them together, and you just want to make sure that it flaps loosely. If it's binding at all, you got to figure out why it's binding. So once you get that back in, you can put the curtain back on by putting one of these tabs into one hole at a time, and then bending the other one into place. This also needs to float freely, so if it doesn't snap back like that or just drop back like that, you gotta figure out why it's not. Alright, so the only difference really between the older Manitowocs and these newer ones, you'll see a lot of these in the stores who've recently got new ice machines. It has this little digital controller versus just an on-off switch. This is how you turn it on and off with this power button here. It says making ice. You're gonna get to the point where when you want to clean it, you want to shut the power off, and all you gotta do is press this button and it'll scroll you through exactly, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do in order to clean the machine. There's one minor difference between this machine is the ice thickness sensor. I'll show you that right now. The sensor comes out the same way, but it looks different. See how it's just like a plastic disc? This is actually a microphone rather than the metal disc that senses the water. This actually senses the sound of the water, and that's what, when it hears the right sound, that's when it harvests. Other than that, you'll follow the instructions on the front cover as you would on the other machines, and that's all there is to it.